Well, human rights activists in Egypt say the country's security forces and military have detained hundreds of anti-government protesters, some of whom have been tortured. That's despite the army's claim that it's remained neutral during the 16 days of demonstrations. It's alleged that some of those missing are doctors who treated anti-government protesters in the streets.
So you're still missing? Missing, yes.
The names of the disappeared, abducted by the state.
Yes. Still missing? Yes.
On the list, according to this human rights organisation, are 4 doctors who were treating the injured, lured from Tahrir Square. There are bloggers, like Karim Amer, released in November for denouncing his president, picked up and not seen in 6 days. There's no information as to where those arrested are held or who conducts the interrogation, but so often it is brutal. To many, Khaled Saeed is the face of this revolution, another blogger who last year was beaten so badly by police he was almost unrecognisable. There are reassurances from this government things are changing, but the evidence points a different way.
They know us.
On Thursday, after a meeting with the opposition's Mohammed al-Baradei, Nasser and Mustafa were arrested on the street, beaten and tied so tight their wrists bled. Blindfolded, they were left in the back of a truck all night, he claims.
How long were you blindfolded for?
27 hours.
Within the barricades of Tahrir Square, there is safety in numbers. But out here on the street, outside the main demonstration, the leaders, the agitators, even the ordinary people that are attending the protest are being picked off. Intimidation is rife.
Human rights activists are now compiling a growing list of people who've gone missing in just this past 2 weeks.
State security targeting people who are the activists and kidnapping them. We are talking about in last few days 72. Usually it was like in 2 weeks like 4 or 6 because they were kidnapping them. Now yes.
An arts teacher and a father of 2, Ahmed Bassioni, was killed in Tahrir Square. His body was dumped in a morgue and left in a freezer for 6 days. It's an indictment, says his brother, of how little the protesters mean to the Egyptian authorities.
I
wanted to see him and remember him one last time, resting peacefully. But when they lifted the freezer lid, his face was blue. I could hardly tell it was him.
But Ahmed is a hero to his brother and thousands of others who pass his makeshift shrine. It reminds them of what's at stake. And many believe that if this protest was to fail, the consequences for those who started it would be just as dire.
The BBC's Christian Fraser with that report.